Hi friends, Evolving Guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for following along with our collection journey. So today's a fun and exciting video because we are doing Prismatic Evolutions. As you can see here, we do have some product to open, and I also just wanted to check in on how our master set is going with Prismatic. As you know, this product has been really hard to find, and when it does pop up, it's almost impossible to get your hands on it. It's either super expensive, local LGSs do sometimes have it in stock, but you know, you see prices like 120, 130 for an ETB. You see prices like 70 or 80 for a booster bundle. And then, you know, other products are similarly expensive. And so it's just been hard to get your hands on packs for reasonable prices. And so it's hard to rip this. It's hard then to get pulls. So anyway, I wanted to check in. I will say it's a good news, bad news story with Prismatic. As far as the master set goes, I kind of knew early on that it was kind of a fool's errand for me, at least, to chase all the SIRs, because there's 32 SIRs in this set. They're very hard to pull. You pull one every, like, I don't know, let's say 2 booster boxes worth of packs. That's, you know, if it's every like 70 or 80 or 90 packs that you're pulling one SIR, and there's 32 in the set, it's just like, because it just, you know, if you could find that many packs for reasonable prices, but it just doesn't make sense. And then buying them, so many of them are hundreds of dollars. And so it's just not something that's within reach for me. So my goal at first was just to build a master set of Prismatic minus the SIRs, which I've been able to do. So I have a complete master set with including the hyper rares. I have the hyper rares, those aren't so expensive. And so I have the gold cards. I have all the commons, uncommons, double rares. I have all the reverse hollows. And then I built a second master set of just the reverse hollow Pokeballs. And so I have all the reverse hollow Pokeballs in its own master set binder. And so I've done really well. I've kind of done what felt attainable. I have a handful of the master balls. I haven't been doing a master set of those. I haven't revisited the prices on those in a while, and I feel like the prices on many of them have come down. And so I might start chipping away. I'd like to ultimately maybe have a master ball set, at least maybe for a few of the chase cards, minus a few of the chase cards. And so that's kind of where I have been with Prismatic as far as collecting goes. It's kind of like a mini master set or a master set light or something like that. Of course, the SARs are the real coveted cards, but they're also just like, again, because it's hard to get your hands on product. And but I did break down the other day, and I have started to buy a few of the SARs. The Ogerpon SARs are the cheapest. These are not very expensive, you know, $20 to $40 for each of these. And so I forget, these two I think are among the cheapest. You know, they're less than $30 each. So I finally did break down. I think we're far enough out from release that I think prices are probably pretty stabilized. So I am going to start chipping away perhaps at least the low-hanging fruit SIRs and adding those to the collection. So we have these two that we're going to add into the collection. And then we are going to open some Prismatic. So I have a couple things to go through. So I have 4 loose packs. My local game store, one of them, was selling loose packs for $10 each, which I felt like was pretty reasonable. Again, though, you think you're paying, you know... These are kind of lottery ticket and I know pull rates have felt really hard. And so, but you know, I figured for $40, that's maybe worth a chance. And then I went to a different local game store the other day. And as you can see here, if you know what this is the surprise box. They got a shipment of these in, and they were charging, they were on the shelves, and most of the time it's just like, okay, well, you're going to charge market or even more for these, but they were charging MSRP. So I bought this for $34.99, which is what it should be. That's very exciting. There are 4 packs inside, plus it has the stamped promo card. Now, we have opened a few surprise boxes. You can see we have the Leafeon. We do have the Umbreon, which is the Chase promo card. We just got that in one of the surprise boxes, and we have the Flareon. And another thing I thought I would start leaning into collecting is just making sure I have one of each of these. That's a little more attainable. A lot of my local game stores do actually have these still sealed in the plastic. And I'd have to make a list and see what the prices are, but the prices on a lot of these are not that high. And so that might be another kind of way to collect Prismatic. If you're looking for ways to collect Prismatic that's a little more attainable for the average collector who can't spend thousands of dollars on SIRs for this set, you might consider these stamped promos. You could get a master set of these probably pretty easily. Again, Umbreon I think is the most valuable, and this is still only maybe a $30 to $35 card from what I've seen. And so if you aren't lucky enough to open surprise boxes or pull one of those. So we do have a surprise box to open. And then the last thing I have, it's kind of hiding back here, is I do have the accessory pouch with the little EV pouch. I actually got that at Target. It's I guess the second time I've been able to find Prismatic in the wild. I was stopping into Target. I've kind of given up hope of ever finding cards in Targets and Walmarts, but I was stopping into Target for something else. And there was a crowd gathered at the Pokemon area, so that kind of tipped off to me, and actually knew some of the people in line. And yeah, I just, there was a woman there who was stocking. I haven't actually told this story, I think, on the channel, but I will tell that story as I start getting into these. I know you guys want to see these. So let's start with the loose packs, and then we'll move into the surprise box. And maybe we'll do the surprise box last because it does have the surprise of which promo we're going to get. We'll do the accessory pouch next. So we have these 4 packs of Prismatic. Again, these are essentially like $10 lottery tickets, but I still have not pulled an SIR myself. Again, I've started purchasing a few, so it'd be nice to pull one. I don't know how many packs of this we've opened. We opened some at release that we could get our hands on, but I haven't opened a lot of it on the channel. So anyway, let's see if we can have any luck. But anyway, I was at Target, and yeah, this line was forming, and the woman was there, and I don't know, it's hard to tell. It's a lot of like, young men of a certain age, and so it's kind of hard to know. There was one guy who seemed pretty clearly to me a scalper. There's other people. I don't know. I think the line between scalping and collecting is pretty fine. I mean, or people are both. Maybe that they buy 1 or 2 for themselves, and then if they can get their hands on more, they turn one around and, sell it. And I don't know, does that count as scalping? Hey, Sylveon, it's just the regular. So we already have, again, we have a master set of the Pokeballs. So that is not necessarily a hit for us. The Pinsir and Flareon. All right. I mean, it is a hit. I counted those as hits when we did open some of this back in the day. But we do have a master set, so it's not something we necessarily need. So anyway, but I got in line. I was maybe 10th or 12th or 15th in line. And in this case, like the woman who was from MJ Holdings or whichever the company was, she actually this probably was beyond her job description. She actually stayed at the stacks and she handed things out. She asked each person in turn, and people were very orderly about it. She asked what they wanted, and it was kind of unclear if she was capping things because a few people did walk away with quite a few items. It was also a 151. It was a Prismatic and 151 restock, nothing in that pack. So it was, it was kind of the most coveted stuff. And it was, I really just had my eye on stuff that I had not opened yet or had not gotten my hands on yet, the accessory pouch being the product that I had not opened. And yeah, I feel like most people walked away with 3 or 4 items, which I don't know, in this world seems reasonable, I guess. At least 1 person or 2 people aren't buying everything out. There was one guy who filled a basket full of stuff, and it was a little unclear to those of us in line how he ended up with all that. And he seemed maybe the person most likely in the line to be a true scalper. But anyway, it was just this interesting Houndoom. And hey, a Sylveon EX. All right, these aren't like crazy hits. It's just the double rare. It's Sylveon Day. We got the 2 Sylveons, but I guess I'd rather have that than nothing. And we have 1 more of these loose packs to open. So can we pull something? Again, never pulled an SAR from this set. We have a master set of everything else, but if we could add even just 1 SAR to our master set, if we could open one of the Chase SARs, that would be so awesome. I feel like we are a little bit due for an SAR in this set. We've opened enough of it to feel like we should maybe at this point. Of course, it's not guaranteed, and these products are all seeded differently, but all right, last loose pack. There are some good trainers in here. There's the Jolteon, another. Hey, Atticus. All right, the ultra rare. These are not valuable, but we did get a couple pulls, but no SARs. That's really what, at this point, we're kind of hunting for. All right, so now we have the accessory pouch. It's kind of hard to see the whole thing. I'll zoom back. It does have 5 packs, which is exciting, and I'm less interested in the pouch, but because we, I'd like to open 1 of each product. Here, let's straighten up here. I'm going to have to pull this outside the screens and just be able to open the box. I'm trying not to think too much about just opening. I mean, I got this box for MSRP, which I think for this is $35, around there. I mean, it does have 5 packs, which is decent, and then it does have this pouch. So, all right, we'll get the packs down. All right, so this pouch thing... We'll take a look at the pouch. All right, it's got it's got this plastic inside. We'll take that out. All right, so it is in fact, it's a pouch. All right, you can see inside. It really is just a pouch, I guess, for your card box or whatever. It's got a drawstring here on each side, so you can, I guess, tighten up Eevee's head there. I mean, that's cool for sure. I don't know. I generally don't like these ancillary products, and they just add cost to the thing, and I don't need them in my life. I'm really after the cards themselves, but that's pretty cute, I will say. All right, we've got 5 packs to open from in here. Yeah, I try not to think too much. I mean, in one sense, like, I paid MSRP for this, so why not rip it? Because this is like, I'm actually, you know, it makes it more of a better, it makes it a better value proposition just to open the packs, since I paid normal price for these. But on the other hand, of course, like, if you have a mind to just maximize your value, then you would, you know, you could turn around and sell this for double. And then I suppose theoretically you could invest that money in your card collection. You could buy maybe a couple of the lower hanging SARs with that, rather than just open some packs and probably pull nothing. Nope, nothing there. Nothing there. So I don't know. It is tricky. Again, this is such a desired set. I think many of us would open a lot more of it if we could get our hands on it. I don't know. I feel like this is the one set where, you know, other sets, like the FOMO has maybe died down a little bit. I mean, 151, there was a time when, I mean, you could get 151 product, I mean, in the before times. So I have had that experience, even 151, which now seems really unattainable, or anytime it shows up, it just goes like wildfire. But, you know, there was a time when 151 even was not quite so crazy. All right, it's not the Master Ball to Dunsparce. We do have, again, a master set of those. But we'll set that up there, just as Sylveon. Yeah, but Prismatic is maybe the one set that just from pre-release through release and ever since, you know, until now, like anytime there's a reprint, it's just in such demand that it's just like almost impossible. Again, if you're lucky enough, I mean, that kind of showed me though, this Target experience, like literally a crowd had formed while she was still putting stuff on the shelves of people probably texting and alerting people, or Discords or whatever. And I'm not part of that world. Don't really want to be part of that world. Probably wouldn't benefit me much anyway, because I can't necessarily drop my life at a moment's notice and just like show up at the store. But anyway, it just is like, you know, the shelves were cleared out, you know, even in a very orderly way. At least in this case, like, this woman stayed and sort of allocated things in a somewhat fair way. But, you know, the line, and a lot of people, I think a crowd had formed in part because some people were alerting their friends, but also just like the random person who happened to like care about Pokemon and, you know, just happened to be going to Target at some random Wednesday night or whenever it was. This was a while ago now. And so, yeah, it just, you know, you have to be lucky. You have to be there right at the moment. Nothing there. You know, an Ortega, again, another ultra rare. Those don't have any real value. So we've gotten a few hits, but again, really at this point, we got our last pack. We're just hunting for SARs. Yeah, so imagine if you paid like $70 or $80 for this box and you're opening 5 packs and then just pulling like, you know, cards worth $1 or $2. It's just the value proposition of opening it. It's not there, you know, unless you're paying MSRP, but finding an MSRP is basically impossible. I mean, I guess I have a few pieces here that stand in contrast to that. All right, our last chance. Nothing there, nothing there. All right, we still have not pulled. Got the shiny energy. All right, we have not pulled an SAR yet in Prismatic Evolutions. And again, we have opened, I'd have to total it up, but I feel like we're getting to the place where like we've opened enough packs where you would at least maybe expect to have pulled. I mean, I don't know, maybe we're at that 80 or 90 pack over the many months. Maybe we're at that. So we're into the surprise box. The nice thing about this is we are guaranteed one of the cards. We'll see. It'd be nice to pull one that we don't already have. You already saw what we have. So this slides out. Try to get it here. Ugh, there, it's pretty tight. Okay, so we'll put the box down. All right. I think it's just on top if I remember correctly. So we'll see. Oh, maybe not. Then the packs are upside down. Oh yeah, there it is. So you do get these. These are these horizontal sleeves, which are cool. That have the evolutions on them. So you do get that. You do get the 4 packs, and then our promo card is going to be on the bottom here. So let's ready flip it. Hey, Glaceon, I think that is, yeah, right? Yeah, that is one we needed. So now we have 4. Glaceon, Leafeon. I guess we could have pulled another Umbreon, and then we would have, oh, these are, oh, there's one flipped over. Okay. So anyway, yeah, Prismatic, it's, I might, like I said, I might start chipping away at the Master Ball list. I might, the low-hanging fruit there, I might start chipping away at the low-hanging SARs, but I don't know, I don't have a big appetite. I think this is just one of those master sets. I mean, I think Danny Phantom has been good on his channel to say, you know, sometimes, you know, you just like have your collecting goals, and sometimes you just acknowledge like when it's just not going to work for you. We are master set builders. I like to have master sets of all the sets, but I think Prismatic is just going to be Flareon. It's not a master ball. I was kind of hoping that would be cool. So we got a Flareon, just regular. We'll put that there. It'd be nice to pull something that just like, not just claws back value, but again, it's just a little discouraging to open all these packs. And again, we have some hits, and I count the reverse hollows, but to pull a Master Ball of something cool would be nice, or to pull, again, an SAR. We still have not done that, so I don't know. We got 3 more packs, and we'll see. So enjoy this. This might be, I mean, who knows, when I get my hands on Prismatic next, it might be a minute. So I do have a local game store that has some stuff in stock, but again, you're going to pay $130 for a booster box. You're going to pay, or sorry, for a ATB, you're going to pay, you know, market price for these things. And then does it make sense to, nope, and nothing there. I know the SARs exist. I've seen them at card shops, and, you know, but we have not had much luck. All right, 2 more packs. Tell me about your Prismatic Evolutions stories. Tell me about, are you collecting this set at all? Are you buying any, if you see Prismatic products, are you buying them at market? Oops, there's something. Oh, I forgot there are A-specs in this, so we got an A-spec. Again, not a hit. Well, I mean, I would call those hits. I mean, most of them aren't worth much. So we're down to our last pack. You can see what we pulled. Again, this is kind of the story of Prismatic, right? It's hard to find at MSRP, almost impossible. Paying market doesn't make sense. And then, yeah, we get, you know, some hits, but just nothing to write home about. So, all right, last chance, maybe for a long time, to see if we can pull something good from Prismatic Evolutions. All right, can we pull something? All right, here we go. Drum roll. Nope. And nope. All right. So we have those. That's what we got. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching. Oh, sorry. We have that. All right. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. We'll catch you in a new video really, really soon.